So I noticed it was a little windy and kind of breezy, and looking down at the grove, I noticed that my eucalyptus trees, you can see that they were getting whipped around. So I decided to come down and check it out, and it looks like my tree got blown over by the winds. And I was expecting it one day to kind of happen because it is kind of a bigger tree in a 15-gallon pot, which is not necessarily the best thing because it's going to be a little top heavy. But as you can see, this holiday avocado is actually thriving down in this section here. It's a nice spot for it. It gets morning sun, gets kind of like noon shade, and there's still some sun coming through like in the afternoon. So it's actually a little on the cooler side in this part of my little avocado grove. And one of the reasons why I really wanted to put this holiday in this section here is because it is a smaller spot and I wanted to have a smaller type of avocado tree. So my plan was to actually have a Pinkerton, which I already have, and a holiday and possibly a gem down in this section here. So it's time to get this guy planted in the ground. So the fact that it fell over kind of prompted me to go ahead and just make this thing happen. As you can see, I have it in a spot right next to a really old grapefruit citrus that's been kind of in the ground for a long time, ever since I've been here, and it's never done anything. I've watered it, it's just been kind of sad, and half of the bark is missing, and the fact that it's still alive, I'm surprised that it actually is still producing some fruit. But the fruit has never been that good. It's never been a good tasting grapefruit, unfortunately, and the fruit that we get are actually kind of on the smaller side. So it's definitely time to get this thing out of here and start over again. So out with the old and in with the new. Okay, I got it out. Here it is. It's kind of dark. I'm gonna have to call it tomorrow. Do you want a grapefruit tree? You can have it. It's yours for free. If you want it, come and get it. So of course, if I'm in the gardening section at either Home Depot or Lowe's, I'm always kind of walking around checking out all the plants, plus checking out avocados and seeing if they get any new varieties. And it looks like a lot of the Home Depots and Lowe's around my area, and probably all around Southern California, are getting big shipments or bigger shipments of avocados from Laverne Nursery. So it looks like there's Pinkerton, Warts or Litocado, there's Forte, there's Mexicola Grandes, Hass, of course, and I've seen some Zutanos, and a lot of them are just in 5-gallon containers, and there are, I can see like a 15-gallon container also. So I was checking out some of the 15-gallon avocados. So what's interesting is that whoever grafted these actually put the rootstock on there. And so if you look closely, this one actually says G6, and this other one actually says Zutano. I guess they spelled it with an S, but it's actually supposed to be a Z. So it's actually good to see that, hey, this thing was actually, the rootstock was a Zutano and the other one was a G6, versus not knowing exactly what it is, and you're just getting your Hass avocado that was grafted on there. So I'm doing something different. I'm going to use this palm, cactus, and citrus all-purpose indoor and outdoor mix. It's made by Kellogg, and from what I can tell and how I felt like some of these products in the past, is that it actually drains really well. I'm planning on using this as a topper, so essentially just kind of putting it on top of everything. That way it can absorb some of the water but not really stick. I pulled up the ingredients that's on the safety data sheet, which is available online, and it actually has, well, not the percentages, but it tells you what's in there. There's pumice and sand, chicken manure and feather meal, so it actually drains really well, which is what I like about it. And you know, it was like $5.50 a bag, so I ended up buying like 2 bags. So I pulled it out of the 15-gallon. It actually wasn't that tough. Luckily for me, it just kind of came out nicely. I'm gonna walk in here to see the root ball. You can see it's definitely root bound, so it was ready to go. And my battery ran out, so I just kept on going and I stuck it in the ground, and this is what it looks like after I stuck it in the ground. So threw it in there, threw some of that cactus mix on top of it, and I also threw a bunch of native soil also. And now I'm getting ready to get some mulch, which I have a ton of mulch, and trying to do this one-handed while recording, which is not a good thing. But wanted you guys to see what it looks like when we're doing this work. The mulch is essentially just a lot of wood chips. All that work and only one casualty, and I did this when I was trying to put the stake in. So because it's pretty tall, it's 10 feet tall, I measured it with my tape measure. I was just kind of curious to see exactly how tall this thing was. So it's a little top heavy, and I decided to go ahead and add an extra stake and tie it onto here. So we've been getting a little wind, so this prompted me to maybe do something extra just in case. I don't want this thing falling over, because I did plant it on kind of like a mound, so I raised it up a little bit, and now it's time to add some of this mulch on top and get this thing going. So since this thing kind of broke off, well, I knocked it off, it does have some pretty good buds. Let's see if we could zoom in so you can see it. So this might be a really good piece of scion to graft onto something. We'll see. I do have some seedlings that I might want to try to graft this little holiday onto, so might give that a try. Or I guess I can do it on another type of tree that I have. My Hass over there is getting kind of big, or my bacon. I might be able to do it on my bacon also. So this is that grapefruit that I ripped out last night. Check it out, the leaves are already wilting. It's been hot. So goes to show, especially right now during the summertime, it's actually, well, it's like second week of September 2021, and definitely hot still, and we've had temperatures in the high 90s, low 100s for like the last 2 weeks, it feels like. So this is part of why we've been watering like every day. So after you put your tree in, always double check to make sure your irrigation's going. So I got these micro sprinklers going right now, and it looks like it's wetting this whole area pretty well. So that's a good thing. So the Holiday is a type A, and it's mostly Guatemalan. And the fruit is supposed to be pretty big, 18 to 24 ounces. So definitely a really nice sized fruit. And my leaves are not tackled like some other folks. If you guys are on my channel checking out my avocados, you probably are on Greg Alder's YouTube channel also. He has a ton of useful information, really good information for all the different varieties that he's growing. He's growing a ton also. He just talked about his Holiday, so I'll put a link down below. You might want to go check it out. Mine doesn't look like his, but mine is only probably 2 years old. I mean, I got it as a 15-gallon, and it was probably a year and a half old when I got it. So that was earlier in the year, and this year it just grew really well in the pot, and it was really top heavy because of that. So that's what prompted me to go ahead and just get this thing in the ground. But one of the reasons why I didn't want to put it in the ground right away in this section was I was concerned because I had a Pinkerton down there, which you've already seen down there. You see it's shaded right now. So my Pinkerton was not doing good, and I was concerned that there was something going on with the Pinkerton and maybe just this area in general. So this one I left in the pot and it was thriving and just growing like crazy. So I decided that, you know, hey, this might be a really good spot after all, but concerned about the soil and maybe the drainage in this section. So that's why I kind of raised it in a mound a little bit, and I hope that kind of helps out. So I'll keep you guys posted. Okay, final product for now. Sorry, I'm breathing kind of hard. It's hot out here. It's supposed to be in the high 90s, and it's like the middle of the day, and of course I'm out here planting this thing, but it needed to be done, so I kind of just said let's do it. And this Holiday is actually doing pretty good. If you can see, like, the leaves, I mean, nice and green, dark green. And I mean, here's my hand. So overall it's looking good. Also, if you look at how big the down here, the trunk, that's a good size. So, and I threw some seedlings down here a while back when I had the grapefruit. So I just threw some seeds and it sprouted. And I also have pineapple, some potatoes I just threw out here, and they started growing, and I'm sure there's another couple seeds in there that has already sprouted, but I just kind of, looks like all this stuff kind of overflowed and covered it. So, and you guys have already seen my Pinkerton, which is right here. I think it's doing pretty good. There's new growth coming up. So I have this on a raised kind of avocado, I guess that's what people were saying it's called. So, but I'm excited about this. It's supposed to be more of a droopy type of tree, avocado tree, but mine is actually reaching up to the sky. So I don't know what's going on, maybe where it's at, because it does have morning sun and then afternoon kind of like shade, but there's still a lot of light coming through. So I'll continue to monitor and keep you guys posted. Anyways, thanks for watching.